Hi, and a very warm welcome to Wellbeing Mission Control. I'm really glad you could join me today. I'm Greg Parry. I'm a wellbeing specialist. I'd love to ask you a question. What's your favorite way of relaxing? It's been a long week, a lot of pressure, maybe had some victories, maybe had some challenges. How do you put all that behind you and enjoy some well-deserved rest and relaxation, especially over the weekend? Well, apart from the fact that I work with a lot of people who devote Saturdays and Sundays to working, I know, not always the healthiest way of accomplishing our tasks. I just wanted to know what your approach to relaxation really looked like. Do you like to sit back in the armchair with a glass of wine and catch a good movie? Read a book? Sounds good. But one of the things I would really like to encourage you to do is to set aside a couple of minutes, just a couple of minutes, for you to really relax and to run a check over your body. What do I mean by that? Well, if you can become more aware of the places in your body where you're holding stress and tension, physical, muscular resistance, you can find lots of clues about the way that you as an individual are dealing with some of the stresses and pressures of the recent and the not so recent past. Fact is, our bodies offer us an almost permanent record of everything that's happened to us, especially the trauma, the disturbing things, the distressing events that seem to cross everybody's pathway during the course of a lifetime. One of the most astonishing ways of dealing with this kind of problem is to learn to identify where those hot spots are, between the shoulder blades, maybe in the neck or even in the shoulders, wherever, perhaps in the abdomen. If you can learn to release that tension, to relax those muscles, well, it can have an extraordinarily positive effect on how you feel, on your energy, on your state of well-being. It can also stimulate your creativity. But ultimately, because this whole series of videos is about well-being in its deepest sense, when you take a few moments to recognize the parts of your body that are super tense and gently, gently learn to release and relax them, you can trigger a very interesting reaction. A reaction in the unconscious, the place where you store the memories of all those strange, difficult, and taxing events. So as you release the physical tension, these were the reactions to the stresses and traumas you experienced. You send a message to the subconscious that it is now the perfect moment to release the memory of those events. And it's a way of freeing yourself from some of the shadows that often haunt our pasts. They're always difficult experiences. I've never worked with anybody who was suffering from a surfeit of happiness. It's usually the opposite. But these physical techniques are not new. They really started to gain traction in the 1950s. There are even schools of psychology that focus on using these techniques along with classical analysis to help people to recover as quickly and as healthily as possible. But what I'm suggesting is that when you recognize how your body is tense, you might not even know that you tense the jaw. Typical stress response. People grind their teeth in their sleep. It's related to stress. Learning how to unlock, to turn down that physical stress can have a remarkably beneficial impact on your health and well-being. So if you're aiming to relax, why not put your body into a state where it feels so much more balanced? It just feels less tense. Most people report that when you do this, well, you feel lighter. It's strange, isn't it? I guess if we could weigh the physical tension in our backs and shoulders, it would probably weigh, 30, 40 kilos. We carry that around all the time. When you release it, when you let go, it'll have an extraordinary effect on your body. If you want to make it easier, slower, deeper, gentle breathing is going to be a very valuable assistant in this process, which will encourage your body to free itself from this phenomenon of wearing what's like a suit of armor. The muscles tense up to protect us, not just from the present, but from a repetition of what happened in the past. And unlocking those muscular reactions can have an extraordinarily beneficial effect and also help you to enjoy the weekend on a whole new level, so that you're more relaxed, more centered, more balanced. Things don't upset you quite so easily. You just feel more in control, ready to enjoy the moment, ready to take advantage of a weekend where you can really let go of all the stress of the previous week and any stress you're carrying from perhaps the distant past. What do you think? I hope you found the idea useful. These ideas have been around for a long time, and they're still as valid today as they've always been. Let me know what you think. It's always a treat to hear from you. Feel free to share your ideas, your thoughts, suggestions, and experiences. I'll be back with you next week, and in the meantime, allow me to wish you a wonderful weekend.